What does a narcissist feel when their victim stops loving them? In this video, we will talk about what a narcissist feels when he has lost his source, the source of everything they need. Before we get into the discussion of this video, I'd like to ask you to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next helpful video about the dynamics between men and women. So, what does a relationship mean for a narcissist? For a narcissist, a relationship is him plus one, so there will always be a plus one. This is the victim. In a relationship, he is basically the only one that matters. And the victim provides him with what he needs for his good existence. So, what does a narcissist need for their wonderful existence? It's about feeding his ego and giving him the chance to control his victim. Ego and control. These are two important things for a narcissist, on which, in principle, he exists and all his relationships exist. So, when the victim finally breaks free, leaves, and walks away, they're tired of playing this one-sided game where they get nothing and only feed. There, narcissist. At that moment, the entire worldview of the narcissist crumbles. His ego is damaged, and he, used to feeding his ego through the admiration of others, he suddenly starts to feel significantly worse. His self-esteem drops. He no longer feels valuable. He doesn't understand his significance, and at that moment he feels really bad. So at that moment, he has lost his source, and he doesn't feel the way he wants to. And these are important indicators for a narcissist. At the moment he loses control with the victim's departure, he starts to feel helpless. It's a really scary feeling, actually, for a narcissist, because when he can control, he feels his power. He is on top. He lives the way he would like to live. And here, losing the victim, he loses control and feels small and helpless. At that moment, he tries to regain control through aggression and manipulation. Manipulations can be different. Manipulations on feelings, guilt, manipulations with threats, anything. And if the victim gives in and comes back, then the narcissist begins to feel good, like before. If not, then, for the narcissist, it's like a trap. In the moment when someone leaves him, he doesn't think about the fact that his relationships have fallen apart. He doesn't think about losing the person. He's afraid of what he's lost, the source of those feelings and emotions that he used to get. And now he doesn't know how to live with himself, not with another person. He will never mourn the loss of a person next to him. He'll be struggling with his feelings. Next, a feeling of being undervalued and inadequate. What he begins to experience if the victim does not return, if the victim has left him. At this moment, he experiences serious internal tension. He starts thinking that he is not enough, he is not good enough, he is not beautiful enough, he is not enough, he does not earn enough, and so on. He will never think that the problem is in him. The problem is that he never gave, that there was no return, that he did not give feelings, emotions, care, that he only took. He doesn't even think about it, and he will never understand it. He will think that he is lacking in some way, and at that moment, the tension will rise, meaning the anger will build up, the aggression will pile up. And in those moments, the narcissist might decide, for example, to seek revenge. But more on that later. By the way, if you've had a relationship with a narcissist, please share in the comments. It'll be really interesting to read, so make sure to give it a like. Let's see how many people have encountered a narcissist in their lives. Next, for a narcissist, the fear of loneliness is huge. A breakup, losing their victim, is a disaster. And at that moment, he's really scared that he won't find anyone for himself. This is the source. A narcissist constantly needs people to validate his worth and importance. He doesn't even know his own worth. He doesn't understand it. And he needs constant admiration from the outside. So when he loses his victim, that fear of loneliness can be born within him. And at that moment, he's really going through a lot. He's suffering. And this is actually a threat to his psyche. At that moment, he might not even be able to handle it emotionally. What's happening to him right now? In the moment when the narcissist is really scared of being left alone, he might try to win his victim back. And these can be different ways from the ways he captured attention at the beginning of the relationship. That is, he can start acting nice again, courting, giving compliments. He can talk about what a fool he was for not appreciating. But all of this is necessary for him to regain the attention admiration, and everything he used to get from the victim. And, of course, to re-establish control. If the charm offensive isn't working and the victim has already figured out who's really there, with her, he can then act aggressively. He can threaten, he can promise that he'll do something bad. He can invent situations, spread various gossip, rumors, whatever. And he might bring in other people to, for example, provoke jealousy. But all the manipulations will be aimed at regaining control over the victim. If the narcissist isn't getting anywhere, then revenge might follow. And for the narcissist, revenge is really a way to regain their significance and establish control. In simple terms, let's say, I'll scare you so much that you'll have to come back. I'll hurt you so you realize you can't live without me, or how terrible your life will be without me, and so on. Revenge can take many forms. Again, it could be gossip, rumors, or some situations at work. Various complicated situations might come up to make the victim give in, to break down. For a narcissist, relationships are just a game. There are no feelings. There are no desires to build something. There is no desire to work on the relationship. It's a game where he has to win. A relationship in which one always wins simply cannot exist. In the long run, those kinds of relationships will always fall apart. But the narcissist doesn't get that. He needs a game where he wins, where he feels important, where he feels amazing. He's on a pedestal. That's what the narcissist fights for. If the methods of returning the victims do not work, Narcissus will quickly bequeath one victim another. He needs to make up for the deficits that have already formed while the victim is gone. That is, the victim left and caused severe damage to the narcissist's self-esteem. And right now, he needs to rebuild himself. He needs to feel like he's back on that pedestal. He needs to feel important, needed, significant. And if he can't get the victim back, he'll find another one to get that important validation he needs. Restore his sense of greatness through other people. I hope for your likes and subscriptions, and feel free to write in the comments what you'd like to discuss in my new videos. Don't forget to hit the bell, and goodbye, everyone.